Hello from the Dreamport Discord server. I'm ShadowsPub bringing you Pimp Your Post Thursday. On the show today, we'll share posts, meet others, and have some fun. You can share your own posts or someone else's you really like. To take part, drop the PYPT emoji into the show text channel. I'll add you to the list to take a turn sharing posts. When I call on you, add your post link to the text channel and come on voice to tell us about it. Keep it brief, like a short commercial for the post. If you can't do voice, it's okay, you can share by text, but the text and the link must be ready to paste into the text channel when I call on you. You can have more than one turn, but you must use the emoji for each turn. Alright, let's get started with Amy. Amy's gonna lead us off. There she is. And come and tell us about it, Amy. There we go.
Hello everyone. It's been a minute here.
It has.
Okay. Well, this post is about my journey so far in 2025. If you all notice, I've been a little bit scarce, both on PYPT and on Hive. That's because of some things I'm actually doing. So I wrote about it. I just finished the first phase. I mentioned earlier that I was going for an upgrade. Like you all know, I'm a fashion designer, but I want to take it to the next level. So I decided to go for a fashion academy upgrade, and it's been taking much of my time. So I wrote about it, about some of the people who didn't believe in my ambition when I first started. And it's surprising now that they're all over my face, and they congratulate me. And I was just surprised. Like, you just need to believe in yourself first before other people can actually believe in you. So I wrote more about my journey and my plans in the next future. So you can just click on it and check. Thank you.
Very nice work. All right. Thank you, Amy. Luchelle, you're up as you prepare for your Passover celebration. Oh, there we go. All right. And Luchelle says on 3 Tune Tuesday, I shared some golden oldies that I'm sure you'd love to listen to. Go check the post out. All right. That'll give you some music to rock by. What more could you want? I know who we didn't tag. There we go. And Q, you are up. There he is.
Okay, good day everyone.
How are you?
This I'm fine, thank you. So this post is a response to the Abilena community, and we are told to discuss about our first quarter of the year. So amazing how fast the year runs out, and then we have plans, and then we make plans also. So I wrote about the challenges I faced and how I've overcome them in the last 3 months. So, and then the hopes I have for the second quarter of the year also. You can check it out to read more about it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Abdul Kudus. Busy souls, busy souls. Kitty girl, you're up. go.
I don't know why it didn't put the HTTPS at the first. I had to type that in myself. Um, well, I thought this was a very interesting title to this post, where he says hiking up a mountain and then in parentheses using a car. um, I thought that was cute. What he did though was he did take a Jeep um, up a part way up a mountain outside of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and they saw some things, and they finally parked the Jeep and then hiked up to the very summit of the mountain. They saw a lot of interesting things along the way: wildlife and birds and turtles and fish in a little pond and so forth. There was a beautiful area where there were a lot of eucalyptus trees and the smell of eucalyptus in the air. It sounds like a very lovely trip that they made up this mountain. And the views at the top of the mountain were quite stunning. I loved, the view that they had up there looking down over the valley below and the rivers. And he said that he even noticed a couple of golf courses that he never knew were that was there when he was on the ground, that he could see them clearly from the top of the mountain. It was really awesome. And then there's this enormous rock near the top of the mountain. There's another little summit nearby that they can see this rock. And I immediately noticed this hexagonal shape on the side of the mountain. It kind of looked um, like a little, what do they call those things in a honeycomb, where there's little uh, places where they deposit the honey, and that's what it looked like. It was kind of almost like the Hive logo up there on top of the mountain. It was really awesome.
It's got some beautiful pictures there.
Yeah, and if you can't see the this hexagonal thing on that rock I was talking about, scroll down to my comment and I put a little picture there that shows it.
Yeah, there are some vehicles that if they haven't got very much get up and go, um, and you're going up a steep grade, they do feel like you're hiking even though you're in the car.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this looks like it would be an interesting journey because the Jeep track doesn't look like it's very wide. So it's kind of tight in a place or two.
Don't
But
want it.
it looks like a fascinating place to explore during the daytime.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You wouldn't want to meet somebody trying to go the other way, I expect.
Oh, that's for sure. Yes.
Nifty. Thank you, kitty girl. Pravesh, you're up.
Hi. So, this week someone asked like, what's the best cover image dimension to use as your like on the cover profile cover of your like a background cover, and then I remember that PYPT recommends 1920 into 240, which is 8:1, but I found out that it's not the same for every front end that we have. So
Oh,
there are
really?
different front ends, and depending on the resolution size, you have a monitor of like 2K, 4K, or 1K. It differs the size, so it will look cropped or shrinked or all sort of weird things. So I just compared all those things. You can see the data on the table depending on which screen are you looking at, and on mobile it's even worse. So there is no standardization on any of those. So I appeal like there should be a standard form of and like an image dimension or a cover dimension.
Yeah,
So
most interfaces these days, they're either 16:9 or 1:1. It's not too often that you see them all varied like that.
yeah, it kind of makes sense. The cover is like very fresh, long image, but still, at least for the top three front end, it should be somewhat similar. And
Yeah.
on the if you go on the mobile, it's really worse. It's really worse. It's really bad. So maybe they should fix it, or maybe there should be a template image that you put, like if you have an image like this will show on mobile only, this will show on this website, or only this part will show there. And it's a bad idea to put like something important on the corners and maybe a text somewhere, so text will be bad there.
Yeah, putting stuff out on the edges. I put my signature on my echoes on the edges. I usually use a 1-to-1 ratio and a 1200 square, which looks as though, unless it's sizing for me, it could get some interesting effects on some of them.
Yeah, depending on where you are, which like platform, which screen size you are on, it could be different as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. That was about my post. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna write tomorrow, huh?
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I played around with cover image size for a while and never could find one that looked good on all the front ends. So what I did was I did an abstract. And if it gets cut off a little on top, bottom, left, right, it doesn't matter. It's, it looks the same on all.
that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, that's a good approach. But then people have like text and all, like in mobile, the text will be cut in half, or the borders will be like cut, or they will be squished and flattened, and something like this would be really cool.
I would.
Just a pattern or a design.
It seems as though for a cover, you're probably best to stick to just an image without text. Then, if something does
Yeah,
get
like
cut
some kind
off,
of
your
pattern.
image might look odd, but your wording isn't gone. So that's interesting for people to consider. Live and learn, don't wait. All right, Zoe, you're up. Thank you, Paresh. Ooh, she was ready and waiting. And she says, my post is about personal growth over the past 5 years, highlighting significant events such as the impact of COVID 19 starting an online business, the loss of loved ones, and academic achievements. That's a lot in 5 years. I'm also dealing with anxiety, still exploring new things in my life. If you wish to know more about me, then feel free to check out my post. It looks as though you've had a lot going on in 5 years, Zoe. Yeah, I'll bet. As if the pandemic alone wasn't enough. All right. Thank you, Zoe. And Q, you're up. Oh, it looks like we've got the first draw up. And who got it this week? Luchelle has won it this week. By the way, the NFT for April is in the draws for show channel this week.
Okay, this is a post made by Princess Busayo, and then it's more of our experience with ordering online. So I think this is her first time she got to order online. So there's this phobia in her, like I hope they won't scam her with her money and other stuff like that. But at the end of the day, she later got her goods delivered safely. And what my point is that most time it's not everything you can order online, because I gave her an example of a shoe, or let me say some other products that my brother ordered online and end up having an oversize for it. So they have different perspectives. Sometimes all this physical market is more better than online, and there are some time when online market is better than physical market. So you can read out more about it. Thank you.
That's one of the cool things about shopping online is you get to compare it between what's
Mm.
available within your reach and what's available
Yeah,
online.
online. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, yes.
I order a lot of stuff
Thank you.
from Amazon. And when I'm doing my groceries, there's some of
Wow.
my groceries I will always check on Amazon and see what the price is like. And if the price is
Okay.
better, I'll order it from there.
Okay. Wow. That's good. That's good. I think that is almost sometimes the same to physical market, but I just prefer physical because I can see what I want to buy better than just ordering online and end up getting a different thing from what I ordered.
Yeah.
Yes, my friend.
It's a it
Thank you.
I think it's a good way to shop.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Abdelkudus.
Yes, ma'am.
And Renew, you're up. So I think you've probably seen the pattern by now. Yep, you've seen it. All right. And Renew, who is new, so don't forget to welcome him. Uh, as a businessman, I feel a trait that a person must follow is patience, and I tend to follow this trait. That's what my post is about, and check my post for further details. Well done. Thank you, Renew. Still awake? Did she do an all nighter?
Well, she posted in the Alliance earlier. It was, I don't know, maybe 9 o'clock or something that I'm awake. And so I thought, oh, maybe we'll get to hear your voice and Pimp Your Post Thursday.
She's probably passed out by now. All right. And Calvin, you're up. And there we go. Get that on the screen. Getting into arguments. Oh, who loves to argue? Not. Getting into arguments is something I'm not really good at. I still wonder how the likes of bipolar does it effortlessly. Is bipolar with us to hear that? The only person I've had to argue with it is that partner of mine for something she was wrong about. Normally I don't care for those things, but the woman just finds a way to make me care. Anyway, I'm not here to rant. I already did that in my post, so you can go check it out. Did she admit she was wrong, or did you are you just absolutely certain she was wrong? He's not sure on that one.
He just hasn't learned yet that the women are always right.
Yeah, he must be young. She was wrong, and I'm sticking to it no matter how much hot water I get into. There's these two little words that saves you a lot of frustration, Calvin. Yes and dear. Luchelle, you're up. All right, Luchelle, tell us about this.
Yeah, congratulations to me. I won the HSBI. Yes, congratulations to me. Okay. The good evening, everyone. It's your girl Rochelle. Okay, the farming season is here, and thankfully the rents are also falling every day. So, sometime this week, I got my hands dirty. Yes, I needed to get the hands dirty because they were quite clean. There's a saying in my place that, sorry, I'll use our dialect and I'll try to explain afterwards. It goes like this: Aka aja aja nebute ono mano mano. Literally meaning that when you work, you you eat. Like when you work in the farm, you also eat the proceeds from the farm. So I had to do something had to do something by getting my hands dirty. So, in the little garden in my compound. So, if you want to know exactly what I did to get my hands dirty in the garden, please go check the post out. Thank you.
All right. Maize and okra. So I guess this you don't have to worry about frost where you are, right?
I didn't get that, Shadows.
I said I guess you don't have to worry about frost where you are.
It's the squirrel and the birds. That's the only challenge we have here. Yes.
So frost is what you get on the ground. It's like little bits of ice that happens when the temperature
No,
gets down around zero for you because you're on metric.
no, we don't have that here. We
Yeah.
don't experience that. Yes.
So that's the challenge in this part of the world is to not plant until after the danger of frost has passed, because frost will
Oh,
kill young plants.
oh, oh, no, we don't. The only challenge we usually face is maybe when the rain stops, like early last month. Yes, it rained for 2 days and stopped all through last month, March. It just rained two times, and everyone that planted that time with the wall running helter skelter. Some bought water to water their crops, but thankfully, it's the rain is up again.
So I'm gathering that if you plant too soon while it's raining, that your seed will get washed away.
No, it doesn't wash away. We usually do ridges, either ridges or mounds here, so the seeds are protected.
Ah, okay. Well, that's not
Yes,
too far off, Pravesh. We're rather
thank
civilized with
you.
our police chases. Pravesh loves to tease. Thank you, Luchelle. And Abinad, you are up. And Rowan, or Renew, you have won 3 HBI. And Abinad says, I wrote about a trait I admire, and always melt when I see someone possessing it. I've tried inculcating it in my personality, but it just doesn't work out. I know I sure will marry someone who is like that. Find out what the trait is I'm talking about. Aha! Abinad is giving it away as to the way to her heart.
Inculcate. What a great word.
Yeah!
Kudos to you, Ned.
I looked at it and went, man, that's not one I see very often, but it's a good one. Okay, Renew. One of the words I had this week was tortive. It's an archaic word, but it means like twisted. And when I put it into the one AI, when I wanted feedback on the quote, it tried to tell me I had to use another word. I ended up having to put the meaning of the word in and go, you really think I need to use another word? So apparently the AI had never actually encountered the word. All
I'm
right.
not sure if I've ever seen the word tortive or not. I guess it comes from the same root that tortuous comes from, like a
Yep,
really twisty, winding road is called a tortuous route. That's
exactly.
really,
Gnarly trees would have been developed through tortive movement. It would have the twist and then the turns. I know when it come up on the list, I looked at it and I went, "Is that a word?"
Was that a English sentence?
The word tortive?
No, the sentence you used it in. The what tree?
A gnarly tree.
Okay, that's word for me.
Gnarly is a twisted and bent tree. It's been developed over the years because it's responded to the age and the environment. Gnarly is now used as a surfing term. Anybody that's in surfing culture will be familiar with it. It's one of the words that Shakespeare brought into the English language. All of the words that I'm doing in the echoes this year have all been attributed to Shakespeare.
But where the heck is G?
It's silent. I know, it drives you nuts.
Yeah,
I have no
this
idea
thing.
why the G would even be put on there. It's not even pronounced and it's at the beginning of the word, but that is the way it is.
So now you're getting back at Pravesh for all of those words he's thrown at you.
Well, no,
At least none of them was silent.
I didn't expect him to pronounce it, so we're okay. I come across if in the process of doing this, what I'm doing when I do my list of words is I'm telling the AI to give me a list of words that is attributed to or credited to Shakespeare. And he's credited with bringing in 1,600 words to the English language. Not all of them are still in use, but I use as many of them as I can. So it becomes a learning experience for me. And Seke, you're up.
I don't really have a lot
There
to
he
say
is.
about. It's really quite self-explanatory. But like, yeah, it's about a new scam update. Are you guys hear me?
I
Network
can
has
hear
been
you.
a
Go
bit
ahead.
bad.
Go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you. Maybe he can't hear us. Church Wi Fi is not working.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, maybe he needs to try
I don't
to.
really have much to say. It's a bit
Go ahead.
self-explanatory. But like,
Okay, I'm assuming he's probably done. I He was kind of choppy there. Luchel's at church. All right, Kitty girl, you're up. Thank you, Seki.
Well, I just wanted to share this week's Ladies of Five contest and remind everyone that gentlemen are definitely invited to write for the contest if they want to. We usually have two prompts every week, and this week we do again have two prompts. You can write for either of the two or both if you wish. The first one is talking about personality traits and habits of others that you might admire enough to where you want to adopt them yourself. The other prompt is about collections of objects, anything that you collect, and talking about the memories or interests that they bring for you. And so we'd love to have anyone who doesn't know what to write about join the contest. You might be able to win a prize, and we'll definitely give your post an upvote. So Yeah, there it is. And we do this every week.
Yeah, there's always something to write about, isn't there?
Yeah, and even if Ladies of Five didn't have this contest, Wes Philbin does the Thoughtful Daily Post prompt in
Mm-hmm.
his community, and um, the Digital Lifestyles has a prompt every week. I mean, there's plenty to write about.
All right. Thank you, kitty girl. I don't know actually. Oh, Seki's probably trying to get it to work. Luchelle has won the 5 HBI. All right. Zoe, you're up. And she was waiting. So he says, my post explores how effortlessly I adapt to different social situations by keenly observing those around me. This ability allows me to mirror the behaviors and expectations of others, which in turn helps me connect with introverted individuals. You can read more about it on my post. So, Zoe, are you an extrovert or an introvert? I'm betting you're an introvert. Ambivert. You go both ways. Yeah. So, which is stronger for you, the extrovert energy or the introvert energy? Or is it pretty much balanced? Ah, that's not surprising. With that, bipolar, you're up. When I have money, I'm extroverted. Why are we not surprised?
Oh, that's really cute. I like that bipolar.
All right, bipolar, what are you going to tell us about this? Are you extroverted or introverted today?
Well, today I'm feeling a little bit of extroverted.
Okay, you must have money then.
Yeah, business is moving well.
There you go.
Okay, so this post is a response to the Hive Learners prompt on how do we handle arguments. So as I was writing on this post, I kind of like decided to check argument versus quarrel because I know there's a difference somewhere. And then I saw the difference. There's a very thin line between arguing with someone and quarreling with someone. But most times I've discovered that when I argue with people, it escalates to quarrel. And before now, I used to be someone that likes to prove my point. But then as I grow older, I kind of like realize, is it really worth it? The whole anger and everything. So I shared an experience that a test that I got to know if I've truly moved on from the me that likes to argue and quarrel and prove a point. So if you want to know what that experience is, please read the posts. Thank you.
All right. So, this is the second topic today that talks about arguing. Maybe Calvin and bipolar should debate when it's an argument and when it's a quarrel. Would that turn into an argument, a debate, or a quarrel?
It will end in a quarrel.
It would end in a
It will,
quarrel. There we
it
go.
will start in a debate, it will get to an argument and it will end in a quarrel.
And of course, bipolar would say she was right because she just is always right, even when she's wrong.
How did you know I have that in my post?
I was raised with a mother that who was not always right, but she sure as hell was never wrong.
Exactly.
We
We always want to point that we're right.
We just learned to
And then when we
nod.
discover we're wrong,
We
we just
learned,
keep quiet and let it
yeah,
decide.
we learned in time that it was best just to nod, just like we were in agreement, even though we definitely did not agree.
Yeah, let's agree to disagree.
Oh, we didn't even say that. That had got us knocked across the room.
That's what we say when it gets really heated. Let's just agree to disagree, and everybody will just disembark and face front.
So, tell me, bipolar, because you're never afraid to express your opinion. Is that part of your family trait, or is that a trait that you have?
It's part of my family trait. I think I got that from my mom. Not I think, I know I got that from my mom because every time I get to meet our co-workers and people that know her from way back, even our siblings, they used to say it all the time, like, your mother used to be so hot-headed. And I'll just look at her, but you used to advise me to be calming down. so, so I would just ask her, at what point did you decide to calm down? And she was just like, well, she started following spirituality. She found God. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't think I want to get to that point, but we'll see how life goes.
I think as we get older, we start to pick our battles a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
just see that some things are not worth it. And just like now, if I just see somebody arguing, I'll just be looking at you because I'd rather invest that energy into something productive than to just get angry unnecessarily. Doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah. It's how we learn as we go. I guess it's how we develop our wisdom.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right.
That's
Thank
how
you,
it's.
bipolar.
You're welcome.
Well, good to have you with us, Renew. Come again. And Reke, good to see you. You're up. Hidden truth. Reke says, have you ever done the wrong thing for the right reason? Do check out this post I made in response to the prompt in Neoxian City and share your thoughts. Oh, yeah. That's always a dilemma, isn't it? All right. And anybody else have anything they'd like to share today? Did we run out the list already? Oh my. I don't see any emojis dropping. We've still got an NFT to come, so what would you like to talk about if you haven't got an emoji? Missed by Polar More. Oh, we've got the makings of a argument to a quarrel in the chat going on here. Who missed who more? And who's being bribed? God, we could start some stories here.
I can be on anyone's side for just 10 hives.
Just 10?
Yeah, just 10
Shall we
for an
start a bidding
argument.
war and see how far up we can get it?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we'll just let Kitty Girl share a post. Go for it, Kitty Girl.
Well,
Aha.
this is a post from the Hive Keychain team, and just wanted to let everyone know that if you use Hive Keychain and find it valuable, you might want to read this post. They're talking about some of the stuff that they've done in the recent past and what they're hoping to do in the near future. And they have a proposal on the blockchain that will fund what they want to do if they get enough votes to pass the proposal. So, anybody who finds Keychain valuable, please go vote this proposal and let them get the funding to do what they need to do.
Yeah, it's important to keep an eye on those proposals. I know you might think you haven't got very much of a vote, but every vote counts.
Oh, and I see Rucky says, I thought Hive Keychain always has node problems. Well, there have been some periodic problems with the nodes on the Hive blockchain, but it's not really limited just to Keychain. It's, pretty much anybody that uses all the nodes on the blockchain will occasionally have a problem, but there is a setting in Keychain where you can have it switch nodes automatically if it detects one node is bad. So if you've got that setting turned on, that will eliminate a lot of the.
Yeah, and that works really well. It's pretty seamless. I've
Yeah,
had
just go into settings, and I think it's under advanced settings and then RPC node, and just mark it to check, to switch automatically.
Yeah, keychain is usually pretty good. The odd time I'll get a notice about the node, and then the next I'll try it again, and it's like I've caught it just as it's making that switch over to the better node.
But yeah, the node problems can affect any front end. Now, eSency has their own node. I don't think they use any of the other nodes except their own. But if you use Hive.blog or PeakD or any of the other dApps on the chain, you're probably switching nodes, periodically. And PeakD also has that setting to where it'll switch automatically if it detects a node issue.
Yeah, that makes it nice because you hardly. Usually, if you run into problems, if it's not the node the first thing you think of. So having that setting where it'll flip for you just means you don't have to think about it. Can you walk her through that, kitty girl?
Yeah, just click on the RPC nodes, and I think there's a setting. Well, it looks like you're on the mobile. Um, I'd have to get my phone and open up Keychain to see what the settings are there. But I think it's under RPC nodes, and that's probably where you'll see the switch automatic.
That would be logical. Amy, you won the NFT. Yep, you got it.
Perfect. Yes. So hopefully that'll take all of your problems away with the node issue.
So we had Voltec from the VSC network on the Hive Thrive show on Tuesday. And it was a really interesting interview. You can probably have a chance to get the uh, recording fairly soon. And one of the things that we did, and it was just kind of an off the cuff thing when I was doing the kind of warm up interview at the beginning, because usually I kind of do a bit of a warm up interview and then I hand it over to Buttcoins, who's got a list of questions he wants to ask. So we had talked about it at the beginning, and we decided that we'd kind of ask him an off the wall question and see how he responded to it. So our choice of off the wall question was, "What was the last thing you knitted?" And we come to find out that he actually does used to knit. So we thought that was really funny.
Oh, that is funny.
So we teased him about it a little bit when I did the handoff. I says to him, I says, "So by the time Buttcoins gets through with you might want to go back to knitting just to calm down." So at the end, I asked him if he had to go back to knitting, and no, we were good. We didn't drive him too crazy.
Well, I never knitted, but I did used to cross stitch and I did do a little bit of embroidery. And, those can be very restful things. So I can see how knitting would be a good way to relax and calm.
I've done knitting, crocheting, needlepoint. Never got into embroidery. I did needlepoint and pettypoint. So the difference between the two of them is pettypoint is usually 20 stitches to the inch and more, and then anything below that is needlepoint. So your really fine stitching is the petty point. Anybody else get anything they want to share today? Pravesh just does finger pointing. Yeah, that'd be one stitch to the inch. Maybe two if you got small fingers. All right. You've been listening to Shadows Pub, host Pimp Your Post Thursday. Thank you for joining us on PYPT and join us next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, keep on creating, and it's all about community. Oh, bye, Wilma.